Hello folks, now let's get something out of the way to start this one off. I'm not doing a separate video on Loco Day. I think we're at a really weird time at the moment with car leasing where the deals are pretty phenomenal kind of across the board. Certainly the good deals are very, very good right now, and you only have to look back 12 months to see how things were different then. And Lease Loco have done their Loco Day, and a lot of you, and me included, have been fairly underwhelmed. I think you're possibly looking at it and thinking you're going to see thousands of pounds knocked off the cost of a deal. And that's not the case. There's a few quid off here and there. And there are a few great deals, but a lot of them were great deals before Loco Day and probably will be afterwards. There are just a handful that are slightly better during this promotional event, but I just don't think it's good enough to do a standalone video on, so I'm not going to. So this one is the EV Lease Deals of the month for September. However, at the end of it, I'm going to show you a couple of plug-in hybrids that I think are actually really good deals. So yeah, let's crack straight on. I think one car in this is a 2-year deal. Everything else is 3 years, 10,000 miles a year, 3 months up front. All electric in this one, apart from those aforementioned FEBs that we're going to show you at the end. So let me move my head because I forgot to do that last time, and it is a big fat head. There you go. I'll sit over here somewhere. How about up there? Hello. Okay, the Peugeot E2008. This is a phenomenal deal. Great value for money. 265 quid a month with 796 up front. 213 miles of range, 136 horsepower, 433 litres of boot space. It looks like a good, sensible option. And I know one or two of you watching the channel have already gone for one of these. So 539 has been the average over the past 12 months. At its peak back here in January, 778. Actually, it's not 12 months. This goes back to January. 778 quid in January for that car. Can't imagine they shifted too many of them. Currently 796 up front and 265 a month. Citroen EC, we've seen deals on these over the last couple of years really, and they've sort of come and gone a little bit. 869 up front and 289 a month. 221 miles of range, insurance group 23, 380 litres of boot space. Obviously same underpinnings as that Peugeot E2008. 526 a month on average. At its peak, looks like about there, 722. That was in October. But the price has been around about here, around about 300 quid mark since sort of April. 289 a month, 869 up front. Again, it looks like a deal. Now, this is a Loco Day deal, which I think is very good. This is a 2-year deal, so bear that in mind. We'll look at the 3-year on it in a sec, but 900 up front, 300 a month gets you a Kona Electric Advance on 10,000 miles a year. That's a steal. That's a really, really good deal. The average on it's been 435. At its peak, 621. It has been lower than that in the past, but by like 11.5 quid in stock. So if you want to go for this, you won't have to wait around forever to get it. I think that's really good value and a really good car for that kind of money. We'll look at the stats in a sec. If you go to 3 years on it, it puts it up to 328 a month and 986 up front. So keep that in mind. 319 miles of range in this car. Insurance group 31, 466 litres of boot space and 218 brake horsepower. It is a very sensible choice. It's a very good car, and you can't go far wrong with that deal. Link, of course, to Lease Loco in the video description. MG4 X-Power, 3-year deal, 3 months up front, 10,000 miles a year, 239 miles of range, 289 litres of boot space, 435 brake horsepower, and 0 to 62 in 3.8 seconds. 929 up front, 309 a month. It's been massively popular, this deal. They've been flying off the shelves, so to speak. It's in stock. I don't think it can last that long, because if we look at the price history, you'll see this is a good deal. 402 on average. Its lowest point on this profile is right now at £309.72p. At its peak, it was £450 a month. The performance versus pound ratio in this car is insane. I don't think there's any new car that will touch it for performance versus price. There'll be cars out there with better interiors, better build quality, better infotainment systems, but there aren't too many that will go faster for less money than this one. 929 upfront and 309 a month. Renan ECH iconic comfort range, 60 kilowatt hour automatic, £390 a month, 1170 up front, 280 miles of range, 440 litres of boot space, 0-62 in 7.5. 455's been the average on it. At its lowest point, it's about 15 quid less than it is right now. Its highest point, however, it was £718 more. It was £718 a month. Currently 390 with 1170 up front. VW ID3, I think we're going right through the ID range here, by the way. They're all on offer at the moment. They all look like great value. 971 up front and 323 a month gets you the ID3 Pro with driver assist, 266 miles of range, insurance group 25, 385 litres of boot space. It's in stock. 508 has been the average on that car. Its lowest point is right now. You can see literally a week ago, it's 570 quid a month. It's currently 323 with 971 up front. In fact, it's got that driver assist pack on. I don't know, I smell a cancelled order there. This one feels like it's going to go very quickly because that's a car that should certainly be north of 400 quid a month or around 400 quid a month. So I'm expecting this one to go very quickly. So if you want to jump on it, click that link to Lease Loco that's in the description and pin as a top comment and get on it. VW ID4 is next, the Life Pro, £403 a month with 1200 up front, 350 miles of range in this one, 543 litres of boot space, insurance group 32, 0-62 in 6.7. 578 a month has been the average on it. It has been lower than this, unbelievably. It's 50 quid lower. But it's still a phenomenal deal, especially against that average of 578 and even more so against its peak of 730. 1200 up front, £403 a month gets you a VW ID4. Next, we've got the ID7, and this is a car that I've got a lot of time for. I really like this. Think of an electric Passat, basically. 382 miles of range, insurance group 38, 532 litres of boot space, 286 brake horsepower, and 0-62 in 6.5 seconds. 1200 up front, 403 a month. 567 has been the average on it. Back in January, it was £1,000 a month, £1,000 a month in January. Currently 403, and this is the lowest price we've seen it. It looks like a hell of a deal, but look at this, you can get the estate for the same price. This is exactly the same price. You've got a tiny bit less range in this, 373 miles, and that's just because it's a bit bigger and heavier, I guess. But essentially it's the same car. 542 has been the average on this. It didn't have such a crazy peak as the Saloon did, so this sort of came to market at 637 a month as opposed to £1,000 a month. Lowest price we've seen on it, of course, is right now. That is a fantastic deal. It's in stock and it will go very quickly because that's a car that does everything, like literally does everything. You've got loads of range, you've got loads of space and practicality, a 605 litre boot. It's quick enough, 6.6 seconds to 62. And that's going to serve you very, very well, I would suggest. 403 a month with 1211 up front. We've also got the ID5, 418 a month with 1256 up front. 327 miles of range on that one. Average 456 on it, so it's not as stonking a deal as some of those others when you look at where it is currently versus the average, but it still looks like a good deal. We've also got an ID Buzz coming shortly. Mini Aceman SE exclusive, level 2, automatic, 426 a month with 1280 up front. This one's hot off the press, the Aceman. But available to order right now. 300 litres of boot space, 244 miles of range, 7.1 seconds to 62. 530 has been the average on it since the order books opened up in June. At that time, they were asking 781 a month, which is bananas. Lowest price on it is right now at £426.79 a month. At its peak, 781. 1280 up front, 426 a month. Volvo XC40 electric recharge twin plus all-wheel drive automatic. 332 miles of range, insurance group 41, 452 litres of boot space, 408 brake horsepower, and 0 to 62 in 4.8 seconds in an XC40. That's bananas. 1,378 upfront, 459 a month. The cheapest price we've seen on it is 459 a month. That is right now is the lowest price we've seen on it in the last 12 months. 848 was the peak, and on average 674. So, you know, we're looking at 459. That is really good value compared to certainly that number and also that number. So you can't go too far wrong with that. That is a Loco Day deal, by the way. Sticking with Volvo, we've got the C40. This one's a bit of a sleeper. Because the 0 to 62 on this one's 4.7 seconds as well. 475 a month with 1427 up front, 413 litres of boot space, insurance group 42, 340 miles of range, and as I said, 4.7 seconds to 62. 687's been the average on that one. It has been lower than this, 429. Which is an astounding price on this car. 918 was the highest price we've seen it in the last 12 months. Currently 475 with 1427 up front. And folks, I'm just going to ask you very quickly to please subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing and it really helps me out. And over half of you watching this are not subscribed. Well over half of you watching are not subscribed. So please do. It really does help. Perso E Traveler is next. This has got 8 seats. We've got something else with plenty of seats coming soon, which is a bit weird and wonderful. 1,500 up front, 500 quid a month, 217 miles of range, 14.3 seconds to 62, insurance group 36, 578 a month on average. Its lowest price is lower than this, 463 quid. Currently £500 with 1,500 up front. I don't think that's an especially amazing deal, to be honest. It's not too bad compared to the 891 they were asking for in February. But I'm showing you it because it's an 8-seat vehicle and we don't have too many. And we don't have too many EVs that are capable of transporting more than normal sort of 2.4 children, if you like. 𝘼𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙄𝙇𝙄𝑼𝙏𝑎 is next. 551 a month with 1,654 up front, 251 miles of range, insurance group 33, 1,121 litres of boot space and 10.2 seconds to 62. 630 quid a month on average. Its lowest point was 456. That was just before Christmas. Amazing deals at the time. I don't know if we'll see the likes of them again, to be honest, but for the time being, this one doesn't seem too bad. 842 at its peak, 630 on average, currently 551 with 1,654 up front. This is that weird one I was talking about, the Maxis MIFA 9. There you go, an 8-seat luxury SUV, they're calling it here. I mean, it's an odd-looking thing. Let's have a look at the interior on it. Fairly generic interior by the looks of it. Certainly a fairly generic-looking dash. Got some nice leather seats in this particular one in the pictures by the looks of it. So, I don't know, could be interesting. I mean, it doesn't look like one for me on face value, but I haven't driven one, so I shouldn't be so harsh. 269 miles of range, 466 litres of boot space, 241 horsepower and 9.9 seconds to 62. 1,200 a month this has been on average, 1,200 quid a month, and its lowest price 683. Currently it's 717 with just over £2,000 up front. That's a new one on me, folks, I must admit. So maybe we'll see it again, but it's another 8-seat electric vehicle, so I thought it worth showing you. BMW i7 eDrive 50 M Sport, 2,875 up front, 958 a month, 500 litres of boot space, insurance group 50, 455 bhp, 373 miles of range, on average £1,333 a month, at its peak £1,948 a month. At its lowest point, it was about 40 quid a month less than it is right now, and that's £958 a month with 2,875 up front. Lotus ELR we've seen a lot lately, so I'm going to skim over it, but it has gone up a tiny bit since I last did a video. 3,200 up front with just under 1,100 a month. And then I said I'd show you a couple of plug-in hybrids. I think the Toyota CHR is phenomenal value at the moment, like exceptional value, and I think it's a brilliant little car. 851 up front, 283 a month. Average on it's been 389. It's been 1 pence less than this, and I think that was yesterday. 480 at its peak. It's just such a good car for that kind of money. 7.2 seconds to 62, 25 is the insurance group, 223 brake horsepower. Primarily a petrol car, but obviously you've got the plug-in hybrid there, so you can run it as an EV should you so wish. And just like that, we've also got the Lexus NX 450h Plus Premium ECVT, again petrol plug-in hybrid, 1,354 upfront and 451 a month, versus an average of 497 but a peak of 559. Again, it looks like decent value. Folks, please use that link to Lease Loco if you want to go and have a click around and look for any deals, or if you're interested in any of these at all. It's how I support the channel. Please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and come back for more soon. Hope you've enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one.